FM News Talk 97.1. On-demand audio.
We're joined by Lis Wiehl from the Fox News Channel. Of course, she's a legal analyst, and you see her on the O'Reilly Factor all the time. Lis, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Well, I wanted to tap into your brain as a former prosecutor because there's been a lot of talk on this from the Donald Trump camp that there should be a special prosecutor assigned to this Clinton Foundation deal. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there is something to it. It may be a little bit premature, although with the election just around the corner, maybe not, because I think look, after the election, everything's moot, right? We're talking about the emails and whether or not she should be turning over the emails before or after these elections that Judicial Watch wants, and I think absolutely it should be turned over before. A lot of those things are going to be maybe related to the foundation. I think they should all be made public. They would be normally made public in any kind of civil litigation. I don't think the judge should seal any of that. So if those are related to the foundation, and if they have to do with anything that's untoward, then at that point, yeah, you would want a special prosecutor. Now, we haven't really had special prosecutors since the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal. And after that, Ken Starr was really our last big special prosecutor. And after that, special prosecutors are really banned. So you have to be very careful about it. You have to be very careful about who that person would be. You can not have anyone with any kind of political fingerprints. I would say that Ken Starr did not really fit that profile because he had a background, a Republican background, and he was looking into a Democratic president. So, there are a lot of pitfalls to it. But on the other hand, if you truly get an independent special prosecutor, then, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, so a special prosecutor, just to be clear, would have to prove somehow that they'd be looking for violations of the law in terms of pay to play?
Pay to play, right. Commingling, any kind of, any kind of fraud, any kind of setup things, using Clinton as Secretary of State, using her influence to get money into the foundation, or the money coming into the foundation that was then used to, getting access to her as Secretary of State, that kind of thing to prove, the money flow. It's definitely a money flow thing.
Right.
But I can't emphasize enough the word independent special prosecutor, and that's the trick. Again, the example of Ken Starr is not a good one, where you had somebody with clearly a Republican hue, and the cry there was, witch hunt. And I'm not saying it's accurate, but that was the cry at the time, and it became so politicized that it was Republicans out to get a Democratic president.
And I'm sure that's what you'd hear this time if it happened, no matter who got appointed.
Right, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So for right now, Judicial Watch, I am sure they've got a bunch of lawyers working there to very quickly get out those interrogatories, those written questions for Hillary Clinton right now, to ask her all those questions that the judge said they could. And once they actually deposit those questions in her hands, or her lawyer's hands, she will then have 30 days from that date to respond. So what are we, August 24th today? If they deposit those on her desk tomorrow, she will have 30 days from that date to respond in writing to those requests. Yeah. Then hopefully we, the people, will get to see those responses, and then I would think from that there would be a determination of whether an independent special prosecutor could be assigned.
So let me, before I move on here, get you to give me a legal definition, because I heard somebody from the Trump camp say this yesterday, that they wanted to see an investigation into possible violations of the RICO laws, the racketeering.
Oh, yeah, okay. The racketeering, let's give you a little history lesson here. The RICO statute was originally set up to catch drug guys, really bad drug guys, who'd set up tentacles all over, right? Mafia types. And that's really what it was set up for. Now, it's sort of a catch-all to catch bad guys doing anything, which is fine. I mean, I'm all for catching bad guys. I'm third-generation federal prosecutor. So when somebody wants to just say blanket statement, let's just get them on anything, they'll throw out a RICO statute. It's okay. I mean, I'm not saying they're wrong. You can throw it out there, but it's sort of like, it's kind of what you say when you don't really know what to say. You know what I mean? It's like, let's just throw out a RICO. It sounds really good because it means like there's a conspiracy. You know, you throw out a RICO, you mean conspiracy, and they're like lots of bad actors doing lots of bad things. I don't know. I mean, let's see what's out there. Let's see what these emails say. Right now, we don't have any proof of it. Let's see what they say.
Good. Well, I know I kind of got you off subject there, but
I
want to pick your brain.
This is what I do. I'm a nerd. I'm a legal nerd. I mean, I'm proud of being a nerd. Go nerds.
We appreciate your insight on that. We really do. The other subject that you were prepared to talk about today was something I was completely unaware of. So the state of California, years before this controversy over the Confederate flag, had passed a state law banning anything that had the Confederate flag on it.
Yes. Yes, they did. So then along comes this guy named Timothy Desmond, and he paints a picture called The Attack. Now, this is a painting, right? This is not the actual flag. But the painting depicts a line of advancing Confederate soldiers and a flag containing the stars and bars of the Confederacy. And again, it's a painting. It's not the actual flag. But he runs right into the statute 8195 in California that says, you may not sell or display the battle flag of the Confederacy. So California says, Mr. Desmond, you can't bring your painting to Fresno County Fair because in that painting you have the flag. And Mr. Desmond says, hello, Fresno. Hello, California. Yeah, I can, because there's a little thing called the First Amendment. And your darn 8195 law, it's just plain old illegal. It's unconstitutional. Okay, so those are the two sides. I think Mr. Desmond wins. I mean, yeah, that is the law, but you know what? Ladies and gentlemen and legislators every day, well, not every day, I'm exaggerating, but a lot, pass laws that are unconstitutional. That's why we have judges who come along in their black robes. It's hot in summer. They must be hot. Anyway, they probably wear shorts underneath, but whatever. They come along and they say that's unconstitutional. I mean, the First Amendment is not there to help us out when we have paintings of little girls petting, little puppies.
Right.
It's for stuff like that. Now, would I go out and pay money for this painting and put it up on my living room wall? No, I don't want to see this. But it's not to protect Lis Wiehl and what Lis Wiehl likes in her living room. That's not what it's for.
Right.
It's for exactly this kind of thing.
How ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I shake my head all the time when I hear this. Listen, now I've taken enough of your time. Lis Wiehl, thanks for your time today.
Oh, you got it. Take care.
We'll
Have a great day and the rest of your week.
All right.